The motherfucking world is a ghetto, full of magazines, full clips, and heavy metal when the smoke settles. I'm just looking for a big yellow. It's 6-inch stilettos, Dr. Dre. Hello. Percolating, keep them waiting while you sitting there hating. Your bitch is hyperventilating, hoping that we penetrating. You get snaking, cause I never been to Satan. For hardcore, I'm administrating, gang affiliating. MC Winner, and you wildin' off the zone in a whole half a gallon. It's a gallon. 911 emergency, you can tell him. It's my son, he's hurting me, and he's a felon. On patrol for robbery, ain't no copping the police, ain't no stopping the G. I'm in the 6, you got to hop in the 3. Company monopoly, you hear the shit sloppily, and properly. They call me the $9 proper collar, drop a dollar. If you hear me, you can holler. Even rock follow the Impala. Wanna talk about this concrete nigga? I'm a scholar, be incredible, heterosexual, credible. Back a hole, let it go. Dick ain't edible, nigga ain't credible.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Got some people here. What on earth is this? Yeah, it's good to be here this morning. Hello, everyone. We're off to, what is today, Friday? Beginning our weekend. Red User 1, thanks for $2. Do you know Crowder? You should go on his show. No, I don't know Crowder. People are asking me all the time. They're saying, hey, you should go on the Steven Crowder show. You know who I do know is Not Gay Jared. I think he follows me on Twitter. I was like, whoa. But no, I don't know Steven Crowder, and I've never really even tried to speak to Not Gay Jared. And I don't know. People, like I said, people are always asking me to go on that show, and I think maybe I should at some point. Maybe I should. Hoth Rebel 86 says, "Can you beatbox?" Yeah, of course I can. I'm from the 80s. It's like in the 80s, that's what kids did. They beatboxed. They didn't know how. I mean, it wasn't, and by the way, when you have a big microphone in front of you and headphones on, the first thing that you do is you turn your mic all the way up and then you try to beatbox and listen to yourself and see if it sounds good. I think it sounds good when I do it personally. I'm not going to do it now, but I do think it sounds good. Michael Connor says Crowder is friends with Shapiro. I think everyone's friends. Everyone's kind of connected. And the more I look, I always get these kind of notifications to say this person is following you, or if I look at my verifieds on Twitter, in my mentions or whatever it is, I'll start to notice that like some kind of big right-wing names are following me, kind of like big political entertainment right-wingers are sort of watching what I'm doing, especially with stuff like Chuck Wendig. So, I never try to reach out to them or anything, but maybe I should. Maybe I should say, hello, it's me. Yo mama's fat ass says Ethan can't beatbox. Prove me wrong. I don't want to. I want you to just, I want you to live in that delusion. I do. I don't want to, I don't have to make everyone be wrong all the time. Why would I do that? Why would I sit there and try to make you wrong? You're comfortable believing that I can't beatbox. I think that's a good thing. I think it's fair to think so. I didn't even send I gotta send Antonio the link. I just rolled out of bed. This is the first time this has ever happened. I opened my eyes and I was like, oh my God, it's 5 minutes until 9 o'clock. And I ran downstairs. I told Andrea to. I had like 5 seconds to say good morning to Andrea. Told her to, do a couple things. Cut a check to the amazing Kyle Ritter, and then also, we've got to do a couple things to the Indiegogo campaign updates and all this stuff, and then I just ran right downstairs just to get on with you guys. Now this is important. This might be the best article to start your weekend out with. I'm going to talk to you about the state of CBR at this point. I don't know. You guys tell me if this is interesting or not. You might not find this interesting. I do find this interesting. I find this fascinating. When did psychic nosebleeds begin? Cam 1138 says, "I believe you. Please don't prove it." Cam, I don't feel the need to. I don't feel the need to prove that I am an incredible beatboxer, even though some people might doubt it. Some people might, No, I don't need to. I'm very secure. Yo Mama's fat ass calls it a cop out, but it isn't a cop out. Jesus A. Sabalas Jr. Hey, how you doing? Good morning, Ethan. Any luck with reaching out to Dean Kane? There he is. There's Antonio. Hello.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, baby?
Oh, yeah, not a lot. I mean, I just woke up. Andrea was like, I was going to call the police. I've never heard you snore like that last night. That was the other thing she said to me. She's like, I mean, I was going to be like, what the? Well, that's because last night I was drinking. It's like yesterday, when I have a couple drinks, I snore. And so I was, yeah, the figures. Rob Anderson Jr. says, Ethan ran, and quotes us. You guys think, Antonio, they think I weigh like 500 pounds.
Whoo, I told you I almost got to 4, but like I said, I'm going, back in the negative direction. Thank God.
How are you doing it? How are you doing it?
I started actually exercising, and I had to change a lot of the stuff I was eating, cutting out a lot of sugar and stuff. So,
yeah. You have to be in the mood to do that.
Yeah, truly, it wasn't easy.
Right.
I like my candy and stuff, so I had to cut all that stuff out.
Am I ready to do that? Diet, exercise, no sugar. Am I ready to do that right now again? And I'm good at doing it when I actually do it. I just don't feel like it right now. I really, in the midst of Cyberfrog, like I just feel like, well, whatever, I'm gonna. If I want to eat Tootsie Rolls while I'm drawing Cyberfrog, that's what I'm gonna do. So, I'm not at that point. I'm not at that point where I want to do that. But I got to do it. I've got to do it soon, I guess. And everyone's saying, "Congrats to you! Congratulations!"
I had to. That was one of them situations. I mean, I got pretty bad, and I spent a lot of time in the hospital and stuff. It was horrible.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me stuff like this. This is going to change my whole point of view.
I mean, I had to have like an echocardiogram done, and they were doing all this blood work on it. I mean, something was wrong with my heart, and it wasn't pumping properly, and it literally caused my feet to swell up. Like I looked like one of those Cabbage Patch Kids. It was like that. You know how they're kind of overly fat?
Yeah, the Cabbage Patch Kids, yes.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing where my legs all of a sudden, like my shoes wouldn't fit. It was that kind of like scary stuff.
Yeah. Like if you're trying to pull on your shoes and you're like, oh my God, like my feet are actually too wide now, or they're too puffy.
I was retaining fluid, they said. That was one of the things it's like my heart wasn't fully processing, and it was causing everything to swell up on me. I had at least 20-25 pounds of water weight gain.
That's the fun part about losing weight, is that water weight gain goes first. And you're like, whoa, I just lost 25 pounds in a week.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, and then it slows down. And then you're like, oh, I've actually got to work from here. The water weight comes off really easily, and it comes off real quick.
Yeah, that was the first thing, but now I'm losing more regular weight. So,
well, I mean, if you're doing it, Antonio, I feel like it's irresponsible for me not to do it. I feel like I should support you in your weight loss.
We workout buddies? Are we gonna be workout buddies?
I feel like that's what's gonna have to happen. Yeah, absolutely.
Have to make me a
Absolutely.
video on my exercise bike playing Hearts on Fire. I need that.
Well, that sounds like a good thing. I could definitely, I do enjoy it when I'm doing it. I do enjoy it. I enjoy both things. I enjoy eating whatever I want, and then I enjoy getting in shape. Both are good. But I mean, I like it when you're like, I get in this weird attitude where I'm like, the world is my gym, and I'm like running around the neighborhood, like doing push-ups off of retaining walls and stuff. You know what I mean? Like just enjoying, just running around everything, jogging backwards. When people are shopping for groceries. I was like at the airport. I was traveling a lot when I was exercising. Every single day I had personal trainers, and I was like, I got to get my cardio in. So I need an excuse. Like I was perfectly on time. I was on time for my flight, and I decided I was going to run. I was all the way in the F terminal, and I parked at the A terminal, and I went, I'm going to run, all the way from A to F and pretend like I'm late for my flight, because that way you have an excuse to run like a maniac through the airport carrying luggage. That's what it's all about. Yeah.
Like OJ in the Hertz commercials.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, look out, gangway, look out. I'm late for my flight, and I for some reason I parked in the A terminal, and it's all the way in the F terminal. Damn my luck. Get out of my way. And I'm carrying a huge suitcase full of I don't know what. What was I carrying around in those days? Who knows? Yeah. Cam 1138 says, I can't get a personal trainer. I don't like disappointing people that much. Well,
as long as you pay them, a lot of times they make you pay them up front. So
yeah, I mean, it is, I don't know. I like it when I get to know my personal trainers, and they become your pals. And yeah, I'm trying to impress people. I have to impress people. Like there's something in me that's like, I can't let, like, if I have to really, I don't know. I try to impress people. So personal trainers actually work for me. Like they're like, all right, Ethan, you gotta run against these rubber bands. And I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna show these guys that I can run against these rubber bands. And then the worst thing ever was, like, I got in great shape and I was running all over the place, and I was running really fast. Like I outran Hunter, in a foot race on the street. And I was like, yeah, I ain't such an old man. Look at me. Look what I can do. And then, my trainers were like, okay, so we're going to run. You're going to book as fast as you can, across this parking lot. And that was like what we had to do one morning. And he was going to run against me. I had two trainers. One was waiting at the other end with a stopwatch. And then my trainer was going to kind of push me. And he's like, I'm not going to go full tilt. I'm going to pace you. And he like, I ran like so hard that, like, when you run and your neck is going backwards, because you're actually like, you're booking as fast as you can. Like my back was arched, like just like hauling ass. And this guy was just easily breezing by me. That was embarrassing. I was like, that's when a man realizes his own limitations, Antonio. When you're forced to realize them. When you're like, no, I'm not that fast. I thought I was fast, but I'm not.
The fastest man alive.
Jeff Bartlett says, Ethan, Rachel Ray is not a trainer. Oh, that explains it.
I love Rachel, though. Hey, boo.
Yeah. She was like, this morning you're going to put butter in everything. I was like, this is the easiest workout I've ever had to do. But
that's
whatever
more
you
like
say.
Paula Dean. I know she would drown everything in, but I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, Paula Dean. I think her career is over, though, Antonio. Is it or is it not? Is she still doing stuff?
She came back. I think she's doing digital stuff now. It's like, I know she had got pushed off of Food Network, but she's got like a channel, I thought. It was like digital content.
The Paula Dean Network. What did she do? What did she do? Did she use the N-word or what?
Yeah, it was, she had some kind of party, and it was like plantation themed. So she had like, she hired like a bunch of black servers and had them dressed up like servants. So it was supposed to be like Southern, Confederacy aristocrat type deal, like slave party. It just sounds weird you saying it. Like, hey, let me
Yeah.
get y'all dressed up like slaves.
What the hell?
Like,
That's just that's pretty weird. Yeah, I don't think that's appropriate. I think that's inappropriate, but I don't want to be judgmental, Antonio. I can't judge Paula Dean. Paula Dean, yeah, I mean, she was making like the most unhealthy food imaginable. She was making the literally like everything was just coated, everything was covered in butter at all times, just fat, fat, fat upon fat. I think Rachel Ray at least tries. She tries to cook a little healthier from what I've seen. But yeah, Paula
oh
Dean,
yeah,
the
yeah,
whole
she definitely does. Yeah, but yeah, Paula's. But that's why I like Paula's stuff because it was all like fat and southern
fat
type
and
cooking.
lard.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, yeah, she cook all this. Yeah, it was just drenching in fat. It's like I hate sometimes because I drown on like Food Network shows. I love like I watch their content on YouTube. So I just like cooking. So
Yeah, I know that about you. You do like to cook.
yeah,
Uh,
so yeah,
I
so I
like
don't
I
like
can.
healthy cooking.
Yeah, I would like, I gotta hire somebody like that. I just want to hire some. I need a nutritionist. That's what I need. I need a nutritionist that will just make sure that I'm, always eating and eating the right thing. Just put food in front of my face. I'm like a barnyard animal. Just like put food under my face and I will eat it and then just keep doing what I'm doing. Don't make me think about it. Let me think about frogs. You just, but like put a trough under me with good things in it, with kale, a little kale.
Oh no. Well, I mean, kale, I've had some kale. It's okay. Um,
Well, what you do is you grind it up. This is the best thing ever. Is when I was just juicing everything. Like I would wake up in the morning, and I would just throw kale into a magic bullet, and then I'd put a little pineapple in there, a little some sugary fruit like pineapple, blueberry, lots of blueberries, strawberry, orange, and then just grind it all up. And like half of it was kale, the other half of it was just stuff to cover up the taste of kale. And then yeah, you drink that. That's all you do. You just take in that stuff, eat some protein, have some hard boiled eggs, and then the weight just kind of just falls off. But I would have cravings for salt and pizza all the time. I would just be like, I need, uh, you know, um, I used to make videos for my Facebook where I'd be like, I'm in the parking lot of the Harris Teeter. It's 2 in the morning, and I want pizza or something. I don't want to. I'm gonna go in there. I gotta. I'm gonna go to the produce section. I'm gonna find something, and I'm gonna feed myself something that I don't want because I don't want to eat fat and salt and pizza. I don't want it. Uh, you know, it was like Facebook was my support group for a little while. I was like, I'm taking responsibility. It's like I was like an alcoholic or somebody. I was jonesing. I'm going to do the right thing. We got to get back to that, Antonio. Let's get psyched up about that. Let's get psyched up to eat kale again and nothing else. We can do
kale
that.
chips.
Yeah, not kale chips. We want to keep it,
I mean, I saw yes, like I saw some kale chips, and they make different like flavors and stuff like that. I was like, okay.
Yeah, you don't want to do that though. No processed foods. You keep it clean. You eat clean and simplified. You don't eat things that have ever been. I mean, just you can have meats as long, but you can have anything around the outer rim of a supermarket. Nothing else. You don't go down the aisles, so you can't really prepare things. You can't prepare your food in an interesting way. You want to keep it as clean and pure and unprocessed as possible. Keep the additives out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That was like I said, I'm
No.
not opposed to the kale. Maybe in salad form because I like salads. I love salads actually. Although so I've had to cut back on the I like ranch dressing. So I used to just drown it in there. Now just kind of give me a little bit of ranch. You don't can't that dressing is surprisingly fattening. And so
Matt Becker says, I like getting health advice from a dude who wears 4XL. It's not, I don't wear 4. It's not.
I wear a 5X.
Well, there you go. I don't, Antonio. These people are nuts. I might wear 2XL. I might sometimes. All right, look at this. This is important. We have to figure this out. When did psychic nosebleeds start in comic books? When? You know that, like, when people are concentrating really hard on doing something psychic, and so then blood trickles out of their nose.
Yeah, but I've said they overuse it now, though. Everybody has it. It's like if anybody has any kind of psychic abilities and they overextend, but I understand the need to show that they're not all powerful and that there's a limit to the power.
Days of Clarity, thanks for $2. Bacon diet now. Ethan, watch the weight fall away. Yeah, bacon diet, sure.
There actually is a bacon diet. I saw that.
No, there is. It was popular 10, 15 years ago. Everybody was like, only eat bacon. It was the Atkins diet. Only eat bacon. And everybody's like, I can do that. I can eat bacon. And yeah, it works for a little while till your liver shuts down.
Yeah, that's why I was seeing that it was causing like liver problems and stuff. I was like, oh, okay.
Right. It's good. It works. I mean, bacon's fun. Everyone likes bacon. Basically, if you just stick to anything, one kind of food, if it go on the chicken diet, and you're going to lose weight, but you can get nutrition. You can vary things up a little bit.
Well, some grilled chicken, white rice. I like that.
Not white rice, brown rice. White rice is just sugar. I mean, that's just I know it doesn't taste like it, but it is. It's just it will make you fat. Atkins is no carbs, says Doc S. That's right. It's no carbs, but people eat bacon. They eat bacon with the Atkins diet. Oh, I remember. Ken Jack Ben says no rice at all. Yeah.
I love rice. Rice is
yeah. I got to think about it. I don't like rice that much. I can do without it. I like sweet potatoes.
Oh.
Yeah. I need those. I need eggs. I need chicken. I mean, that's, and then all kinds of different produce. I need fresh produce. The thing about being on a good diet when it comes to produce is that you have to shop every single day. You got to be out there because you need fresh produce. So you got to be out there shopping every day. I don't want to shop every day. I'm trying to draw. God damn it. I'm trying to draw. I can't do this, Antonio.
Do you actually shop? Because I stopped doing it. A lot of times I don't feel like going to the store, and I got a lot of apps that are on the phone, and you can just hit the phone and just do all your grocery shopping, and they'll just bring it right to the house. I get just like, okay, they'll just do my shopping for me. Give me like a half a gallon of milk, dozen of eggs, some cheese, a little lettuce, stuff like that.
We tried to do that. We did. You can have ShopRite deliver your groceries to you, and we did that like for a little while. Because it is kind of a thing. We got to pack up Ava, and Andrea does not want to grocery shop by herself. I don't know why. She's like, I don't. Will you come with? Probably because it involves hefting a lot of things. And so I'm not really sure what it is, but she doesn't want to do it by herself. So I've got to go with her. Grocery shopping is something we do together. Oh, and she's also afraid she's not going to get everything that we need. So grocery shopping's hard. It is hard. Unless you sit down and plan it out very carefully and say, I would like to get her to the point where it's like, okay, let's plan out meals. So we know what we're going to have every single, we just kind of go, what do we want? Are we going to go out? We're going to cook something. Yeah, grocery shopping stuff. So Andrea started ordering and having people bring groceries to the house, which I always felt bad about. I don't know. It just felt weird. Like this guy would show up with a van, and in his van, there'd be a shopping cart. Like he didn't unload the shopping cart into the van. He put the whole fucking shopping cart into the van, and then he'd pull the shopping cart out and bring it up to our door and then unload the groceries right into our house. And I was like, this is just, I don't know if this is too American for me.
Well, I'm about to say, yeah, there's a company around here called, what is it? They're called Shopper Cart or something like that. And They got an Android and iPhone app, and basically they go to Publix, and
Hmm.
you can pretty much get anything from them. You know, anything in the Publix deli and anything that's in the store. So I'll be like, okay, I need a couple of loaves of bread, I need some sugar, I need some breakfast cereal, some milk, cheese, give me some toothpaste, a couple sticks of deodorant, and I'll just put all that stuff in there. And you know, about 2 hours later they show up. And I
Yeah,
think it
Publix.
works out.
Now I know where you live. You're down south with the Publix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Publix was when I was in Florida. They had great sandwiches. Like they have a
Yeah,
deli there. They make really good sandwiches for
that's
you.
that app. They'll go to the deli and just get it. You know, it's like, hey, I want like a thing of chicken strips with some honey mustard, and you just put that in there, and they'll bring it right out to the house. I'm like, okay.
They're like lift Ethan's groceries and get swole. That's a good way to go. Days of Clarity says I'm nearly 50 and MMA fit, high protein diet. Nice. Yeah, well, see, it's possible. I mean, you can get fit. Well, he's probably been fit his whole life, you
Yeah,
know.
you're looking real jacked, baby. I see you out there.
Yeah,
Keep balling, man. All right.
some of these people are jacked. Zach Long says Publix hoagies. Oh man, is it lunchtime yet? That's right. They are good. I don't know what it
Yeah,
is.
they're fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good time. And you get black olives in there.
Oh, okay. So you get a little exotic.
Well, you put a black olives. You put black olives in your sandwich. I mean, it's great stuff.
Yeah, they'll make it however you want. I
Hmm.
love it.
Yo mama's fat ass just ate a Rice Krispie treat. That's good. I haven't eaten anything yet. I'm gonna have eggs this morning. I'm gonna get up there. I'm gonna have a couple eggs. I'm gonna get down here and get back to work. All right, let me see. In When We First Met, we spotlight various characters, phrases, objects, or events that eventually became notable parts of comic lore. Today, I pay off on something that someone asked me in an email from November of 2008. This guy, Brian Cronin, like, what do you? I don't want to read this. Somebody asked him this in 2008. So this is when the psychic nosebleed first started. 1984, Firestarter, the movie Firestarter, based on the Stephen King novel.
Stephen King, yeah.
Look at him. He's like, I'm having a psychic, and then yeah. Have you ever done that? Have you ever concentrated so hard that like blood came out of your nose and your whatever? That's what Trump talked about. I think that's where the bleeding first started. She was so mad. He said, she had the blood coming out of her eyes, her nose, or whatever. That's when it first started. That's when I first started noticing it. You know, yeah. This has led people to figure that the 1980 novel must be the first example of this trend. But in the novel, nosebleeds are not mentioned, simply mini cerebral hemorrhages, which true are bleeding in and of itself, but not specifically a nosebleed. So naturally, the comic book debut of the psychic, he spells psychic wrong, garbage here, would have to be after Scanners. Quotes because hey, maybe I'm wrong. This makes sense really, as comic books tended to try to avoid blood as much as they could because of the comics code. When Professor X and Dark Phoenix have a super awesome psychic battle in X-Men 136 by John Byrne, Chris Claremont, and Terry Austin, the best comic book creative team of all time. Fight me.
Yeah.
They are honestly like John Byrne and Chris Claremont and Terry Austin together created comic books that made me get a job at the age of 14 and lie and say I was 16 so that I could make chicken at Roy Rogers Chicken, get a little paycheck of about $80 a week, and spend all of it on back issues of John Byrne's X-Men. That's how good they were. I wasn't like, I'm just going to buy whatever's out there. I was like, no, these comics are expensive. They're like $50 a piece. These back issues that are hanging up on the wall. I am going to get a job specifically to be able to buy those comic books. And I've never had any, I mean, maybe Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man and Incredible Hulk, similar kind of cachet, but like, honestly, the very best creative team of all time. If you're going to whittle it,
Uh oh.
It's a very
Ethan. Okay. Can you guys at least hear me? Cause okay, let's see here. No. Okay. Uh-oh.
Antonio, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. It was like you
Oh,
cut out for. I was like, "What is going on?"
yeah. Okay, good. I'm really glad. I was like, what should I do? This happened yesterday, and I was like, should
I
I
was
just
trying to
quit?
pull the article up so I could keep reading.
Oh my god. I was like, no, my computer froze up again, and I was like, I'm gonna react calmly and wait and see if I come back on this time instead of just shutting down my entire computer and screwing things up. It's like it's a scary thing when you're in the middle of talking and making a point, and then suddenly you just see F all up the screen, like going F F. F. You're like, oh no. Um, yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I actually wanted to ask you about that yesterday when that happened because I was like, man,
It
what's going
happened
on? Like,
twice.
are you doing like updates or something?
I
Or
don't know. I honestly don't know why it's happening. It happened once yesterday. I shut down, destroyed that whole stream. Then it happened again in the middle of my second stream, and you know what? I just went F it, and I went upstairs. I was like, I'm not going to start it up and go, sorry, my God. Yeah, this time I reacted, Antonio. I reacted more calm, more calmly, and just let it ride out. And look, here we are. Here we are. Not a
oh, man.
problem, right? All right, let
Yeah,
me get back to the article here. What I was trying to say was, uh, I was trying to say that, if I, at age 14, could speak to my 44-year-old self, my 44-year-old self would tell my 14-year-old self, don't worry. One day, you're going to be fat and bald, but you will have every single issue of the John Byrne and Chris Claremont X-Men.
oh,
And I'll say you're going to keep them behind you in an antique comic book rack that you occasionally carelessly bump into with your chair and do untold damage to these expensive comics. They were in mint condition. I don't know what they are now, you know.
oh, you don't have those hard plastic cases.
Not really. No. No, I don't want those. Scott from Geekstream says, "Yo, Uncle E, if you need tech support, let me know. I'll give you a hand." Well, I mean, maybe I do. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. This computer's brand new. I don't know why it's giving me any trouble. The only explanation, the only thing of worry is that it's down in the basement. It's not connected. It's using Wi-Fi from an extender. But other than that, it shouldn't really be giving me this kind of problem where it freezes up. And yet it does. Alienware, ladies and gentlemen, Alienware. What are you going to do? I have some frustrations. I'll admit it. I'm frustrated sometimes. Um, yeah. No Wi-Fi. Well, you know what? I can't. I'm downstairs. I can run an Ethernet cable all the way downstairs. It doesn't seem
Yeah,
like.
that would suck. It would just it would seem to make more sense to have a high Wi-Fi broadband connection. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Lightning Fan says, "Have you been to Bleeding Cool? Maybe you have a virus already." No,
Ugh.
I haven't.
Yeah, they spread like the hantavirus over there. I don't like going on their site, man. That stuff
No,
just
me
pops
either.
up. Ugh.
It's grimy there, right? In so many different ways. It's grimy. It's just a grimy website run by grimy people. No, I don't go there. But anyway, is Professor X nose bleeding here? No, this is a tear. This is a tear. This isn't blood. He's crying, isn't he? If psychic nosebleeds had been a thing by 1980, surely they would have been used here, right? Similarly, earlier in the issue, Dark Phoenix is messing with Colossus. Nowadays, there would be blood dripping out of Colossus's nose rather than tears dripping from his eyes. Where's Colossus? Oh, here we go. Look how good this is. Is this good? I'm not sure. People nowadays probably would look at this art and go, "I don't know. It's all right, Ethan, but is it that good?" Time moves on, doesn't it? Is this art dated by today's standards?
It's not. I don't know. It might be too good for some of the stuff I saw with Marvel now. It's like I don't know if this would pass the muster. They need you to make the woman's breast smaller and make her look more masculine.
Well, that's different. That's horrible. I just mean by good standards, by the standards of good artwork, the art that everyone's excited about. John Byrne was head and shoulders above everything else that was coming out back then. I mean, even his old stuff was better than what people were doing now. And he could compete against Todd McFarlane in terms of doing something exciting when nobody else could. And now I'm looking at this art. It's like, yeah, it's good. Is it great? It's all right. We've moved on. I think we've moved on. I don't know. It'll always be close to me, but it might not be.
See that digitally colored. Like to see it digitally colored.
No, I don't think so. You know what it is? If you digitally color that, it's not going to work as well. There's something about the way that you sort of use fat brush strokes, and it just blends. It just kind of bleeds into the newsprint. Nowadays, if you and then there's just shitty coloring on. Excuse my language. There's bad coloring on top of it. If you clean that up and put it on nice paper, and and then digitally color it, it really does lose its charm. You have to anticipate that you're going to be computer colored. You have to anticipate it. Like it's a whole different style of drawing. I think it is. I don't know.
No, it's beautiful either way.
Yeah, it is beautiful. I'm just like, does it do the same thing to me that it used to? I'm gonna read all of my John Byrne comic books, my John Byrne X-Men books, and the Dave Cockrum ones that come before.
Oh, there you go.
I met Dave Cockrum right before he died, and I didn't do it.
Okay, I was about to say, man, did you shake his hand?
I did shake his hand. I sat next to him for a whole weekend. Him and his wife. They were very, very nice to me. I think they were nice.
Man, that's scary.
I didn't get a drawing from him because I'm stupid.
Because I'm sitting there going, man, and I'd like to meet Ethan next year, and I'm kind of nervous now.
Yeah, people are just making that up. That's not true. It's like I tend to go. First of all, I tend to want to hang out with older people. I'm more interested in people with life experience. Let me just explain this so that people don't continue with this rumor. Yeah, like just meeting me doesn't mean you're gonna die. I'm not the Grim Reaper. It's just that I tend to want to meet people who are older. Hey, you're 88, and you knew Frank Sinatra. I want to talk to you. You of course, yeah, like you made love to Elvis Presley. By the way, I was telling that story about Julie Newmar the other day and how she asked my son if I beat her with the wristwatch around my wrist, which was weird. Did you hear me tell that story?
Yeah, that was kind of creepy. I was like, oh, wow.
I forgot the other thing I said to her after that made me think she was loop-de-loop. Because she said that, and I was like, okay, I'm going to change the conversation. So I said to her, was Elvis a good kisser? And she said, I didn't kiss that man. Ew. And I was like, what the hell are you? I gave her the dirtiest look I've ever given a celebrity before. I was like, you didn't kiss Elvis? And she's like, no, ew. And I was like, all right, I'm walking away now. I'm walking away from you. Because A, don't act like that about the king. And B, yes, you did. And don't effing lie. Because Elvis said, I slept with every single one of my co-stars except for one, Mary Tyler Moore.
Mary Tyler Moore. Yeah, I knew. She said that multiple times. Yeah, she didn't give it to him. So I was like, okay.
So, and she regrets it. So don't tell me like that you didn't, because I know that you did. And then don't tell me gross, because it's the king and who the hell are you? You know what I mean? Like, don't talk that way about Elvis to me. Say, yeah. And by the way, and I didn't say any, I just said kiss her. I didn't say anything else. You know, it's not like I, asked her anything. Well, it's a moderate question. And I've asked it of other ladies before. I asked it of my mom. She said yes. Rob says, why is Ethan curious about Elvis's kissing abilities? No, I just want to no. Yeah, that's a good question.
Because he's the king.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I kind of like Johnny Cash better than Elvis, said the action artist. You mean kissing him? I mean, Johnny Cash. Yeah. Elvis, there's some similarities between Elvis and EVS. Elvis did eat full loaf-sized sandwiches.
Oh, wow.
Perth Comics said, EVS, your mom kissed Elvis? Yeah, she better have. She better have. If she had the chance, she better have. But she's probably just a kid. She's a teenager when Elvis was now they're talking me into a corner here in the chat about Elvis kissing. Stop saying weird stuff. That's not what I meant. I just meant that, I know for a fact that, from reading Elvis stuff, that Elvis made love. Elvis made sweet, sweet love to all of his co-stars, and that impresses me. So, yeah, maybe I shouldn't talk about this anymore.
It's cracking me up.
Sleepy EVS equals truthful EVS. That is unfortunately true. All right, so here we go. Oh, look at these psychic nosebleeds. Look, whoa, this guy's got a psychic head wound right here. Cyclops is. This must be from God Loves, Man Kills, right? I haven't read this in a while.
Claremont, yeah, that's a fantastic story.
Brent Anderson, where a brainwashed Professor X uses his powers on Cyclops and Storm. Look at them; they're just like sitting there, and then boom! This is what I do all the time. I wreck people. This is me wrecking people via YouTube. Boom! And this is what happens to him on the other end. This is what happens to him. This is what happened to Chuck Wendig. This is why he lost his job at Marvel. Because I was like this. Well, this is what the graph shows. This is what the chart shows. It shows that I did this, and Chuck Wendig went like this, and then he was like this, and then this was me right here. That was my face at the end of it. I was like delighted. Look at his delight.
I like when you say delight.
There's no other word but delight to describe this. He's delighted by what he's done. All right, so yeah, here's more people. This is me when I'm singing, I guess. This is what other people's reaction to me singing. Oh, look, he's bleeding out of his face again. So we're seeing this is the origin of look, bleeding from your ears, bleeding from your whatevers. All right. So I believe that this villain in Adventures of Superman 427 by Marv Wolfman and Jerry Ordway is the first time we see someone have a psychic nosebleed from using their powers. And also the first time we see the psychic nosebleed in a Comics Code approved book. All right, where's the nosebleed? Look at this beautiful Jerry Ordway. Oh, that's great. That's great. I don't see I see blood. Where's the psychicness? Did I miss it? Oh, right here. I see. That's a human being. I missed the profile here. He's bleeding out his nose. Okay. There you go, Stephanie. 9 years and 11 months isn't too long to get your question answered, is it? That's weird. Brian, that is weird that you sat on this question for 9 years and 11 months, and then you went ahead and answered it. That's a little odd. So it turns out the answer is Jerry Ordway and Marv Wolfman, Adventures of Superman 427. That's the first time that you see a psychic nosebleed from someone using their powers, and also the first time that we see a psychic nosebleed in a Comics Code approved book. They weren't allowed to show blood with the Comics Code. What do you think of that?
Well, I was kind of glad when they shifted away from that nonsense.
Diablo Hashcraft is lying. He's saying that EVS telepathically outed my sexuality to all my friends. I didn't. Maybe somebody else did. It wasn't me. Was it you, Antonio?
I don't believe in sexually doxing people, except myself.
Yeah. I might I'm not sure if I believe in it or not. I just know that I didn't do it in that one case. Like I might do it to someone else, but I didn't do it to him.
I
So
believe you.
I want to have a psychic nosebleed.
No, you don't. You
Why
definitely
not?
don't. Yeah, because I need you to be safe, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me try it. Listen, people know already who listen to the show. I do try. I'm not afraid of the dark side of the force. I have worn a Ouija board hat, and much to Doug's alarm. Doug was alarmed, and Mike S. Miller. By the way, you ever see this is the best thing is when I get Mike S. Miller on the show, and something I say makes his smile fade, and then he just kind of looks down at what he's doing. And I'm like, I'm wearing a Ouija board hat, and I was wearing a Ouija board hat, and I was trying to summon dead people, and Mike did not like that at all. Like he just looked down. He said, "Don't mess with that stuff, Ethan. Don't mess with it." No, I'm gonna mess with it. I'm trying to summon. Let's see, who would I try to summon? You know what? I want to summon the ghost of Ricky Ricardo from I Love Lucy, and he's like, Ethan, these are powers that No, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with trying to?
Lucy, you got
Yeah,
some
Lucy.
explaining to do.
I told him I was going to do that. Tonight I'm going to F with him. I have a bongo drum upstairs, just like Ricky Ricardo's, and I'm going to bring it downstairs, and I'm going to inexplicably start playing it during the live stream. I'm just going to be like, Babaloo, Babaloo,
I love
Babaloo.
Lucy and she loves me.
Those are the lyrics to the song.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Trust me. My mom used to, when I was a kid, my mom used to love I Love Lucy reruns. She would just watch that shit all the time, man.
I love Lucy and she
she
loves
loves
me. We're as
Yeah,
happy as two can be. How's it go from there? Sometimes
I think it's like, so life is heaven, you see, cause I love Lucy and you love, and she loves me.
Is there a verse about physical abuse and infidelity?
I think that's what the Babaloo means.
Babaloo means physical abuse and infidelity. Well, I mean, he cheated a lot,
Yeah,
and
he
she
was
put
getting
up
it
with
in.
it.
Yeah,
I don't know how he
he was
had the
getting it in.
balls.
Yeah, Desi was getting it in.
He was. Do you blame him for that? Like, if you were married to a Lucille Ball, would you cheat on her? Think about that question carefully.
Now, that's something that I talk about. But my thing is, it doesn't matter if how hot somebody is.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, that stuff you're just gonna get used to that, and then it's just gonna be personality, and then you're gonna just get bored, and your desires will change, and you're still gonna be attracted to other people.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with it. So yeah, you got Desi Arnaz. A lot of people consider him a sex symbol. People were attracted to Lucy, but she was an older woman. She was older than him, and he's all of a sudden his profile goes way up. These women are throwing themselves at him, so he partook in it. Men. What Chris Rock said: men are only as faithful as their options.
Wow. That's something.
Hey, I thought that he was talking real. He was talking real stuff though, because that's the thing. Everybody looks at Chris Rock now, but I watched Chris Rock 30 years ago. I remember when he would just barely be able to pop on TV for 5 minutes, and he kind of he was doing the clubs and all this kind of thing, and then all of a sudden he starts getting on television more and more and more, and now he's Chris Rock. So
yeah.
that's that last Netflix special he did, where he was talking about cheating on his wife. He said he only cheated like 3 times, and everybody was like, and then what he said, the one guy goes, "Man, I work at UPS and I got more hoes than that," and it was. I thought that thing was hilarious. I was like, but he was just kind of it's the same. You see the same situation with Kevin Hart, real short dude, and he's just now getting famous, so now he's starting to get these kind of little weird cheating scandal things are popping up where somebody try to blackmail him and doing that stuff. He's coming from that. I was a nerd. I wasn't getting a lot of women, and now women are literally throwing themselves at me. So of course, even though I love my wife, I'm still gonna be like, hey, let's play.
Uh, I guess. Kevin Hart. Well, look, here's the thing. Do you think Chris Rock would have cheated on Lucille Ball? I mean, if he
Ooh,
was
well, they
married
would have,
to her?
yeah. Well, if they were back then, yeah, back then that would have been, because they said they got flack for him being Cuban. I could only imagine if she was with a black man, how that would have played. That would
Hmm. I think it would have. Yeah, I think it would have been okay. I think it would have changed things. Uh, uh, I don't know. Here's the thing about Lucille Ball. I there. First of all, I think I'd rather be with Ethel. Between the two of them, I think
have.
I'd rather be with Ethel. Ethel didn't screw things up the way Lucy did. I mean, Lucy was a living hell to live with
But she was
in
an
that show.
enabler. That was the thing about Ethel. Ethel would be trying to be good, and then Lucy would come up with, "Hey, Ethel, I've got an idea. Let's break into the chocolate factory," and then all this stuff would start happening
Yeah,
instead of
yeah,
just
yeah.
telling her no.
No, wasn't it? Weren't they all Lucy's ideas?
Yeah,
Like,
they were always, yeah. That's what I'm saying. And instead of Ethel saying, "Hey, Lucy, why don't we just chill out?"
yeah.
She always just went along with it. She was
I
always
like Ethel's personality better than Lucy's. I would have to. I mean, this is the thing. Like, Desi like smacked Lucy around. Like, he would turn her upside down and spank her.
Yeah, somebody tweeted one of those out. They had taken a clip from the show and him bending her over on his knee and spanking her. And I was like, boy, that would never get on TV now.
That was kind of common. I mean, you would spank people. Like, men would spank women in movies and TV back then. It was ha ha ha. Can you imagine like men disciplining their wives like their children? And that used to happen all the time. And that was a trope. That was a trope in the 30s too, all the way through the 50s. And I don't think it made it into the 60s. But yeah, you would turn your wife upside down over your knee, and you'd give her a whacking, and she'd go, "Ow, ow, no."
Well,
uh,
I was
and did
listening to
she learn
some.
that?
Yeah,
I
but
don't
see,
know.
I was listening to a YouTube channel. Someone was talking, and they were talking about some old literature from like the 1800s, and it was basically giving men advice on about when and how often they should beat their wives. And I was like, "What?"
How often you should beat your wife?
Yes, yes, you
What
should.
did it say?
It was, it was just basically, about that sometimes the beating would be necessary. I wish I could remember because that thing, I was like, it blew me away to hear stuff. I was like, wow, was that for real? I was like, but it was in
That's
the 1800s though.
that's the patriarchy right there, right? I mean, just you know, being able to beat your wife.
Ugh. That's insanity to me.
Yeah, it is. It is weird. Um, yeah. Poor Desi and Lucy. I don't know. I mean, they were in the 1950s. They were America's couple.
Oh yeah.
They were America's couple. And then, boom, what a disappointment. I mean, instantly, virtually instantly, they are divorced. I don't know how America recovered from that disappointment, from that shock. I mean, look at these two, loving and fighting furiously. Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. Here's Desi Arnaz, two cocks. Lucy's still hanging on to him. Naive, innocent, carrying a basket. Let me preface this by saying I set myself up for failure with this one. So much has been written about Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. I can't possibly include all the vast information I have at my fingertips. So if you're intrigued by my post, good news, there's a wealth of material out there. The Ball Arnaz relationship was messy and hurtful. Messy and hurtful. But it all came from two people who loved each other more than they could say. The marriage brought them a legacy that transformed them into icons, yet they weren't the Ricardos. They were Lucy and Desi, fallible people who ultimately couldn't stay together. Look at this. This is why, right here. Look at
Mm.
this. You know? She's
Play.
like, look at me, I'm your wife. No, he's looking elsewhere. He's having a good time, actually. He's not even looking at either of these two. He's looking at the six other women that are off screen.
Yeah, Desi got around. Yeah,
He did get around.
yeah.
Poor Lucy. Do you feel bad for Lucy?
I do. I remember watching. They did some little TV movie about the whole. It was like a little two-parter, and based on her book or whatever. And sound like she just put up with a lot of crap. You know,
Yeah.
she just put up with it. And I don't know. Finally, I guess she had to. just like, okay, I've had enough. And just put out.
I saw Lucy on the Dick Cavett show in like 1974, and Lucy was like fat and old. And I mean, she had basically become, at that point, I think in the 1950s, naive, successful businesswoman in, part of America's most popular couple. And Lucille Ball was confident and quirky. But by the time that ended, by the time the 1970s had rolled around, Lucy was fat. In the interview, her body was turned away from Dick Cavett. It's the two people sitting in chairs, and she's turned away from him and looking away and icy and imperious, like I am Lucille Ball. If it wasn't for me, you would not have Star Trek. And I'm like, F you, about that, by the way.
I saw the what was it, the Three's Company anniversary show or whatever, the little clip show that she hosted. They still show that on like TV Land all the time.
Yeah, she that's a woman who had been hurt. Man, that's a hunk of woman. That's what a handsome 23-year-old Cuban said when he saw a gorgeous 28-year-old redhead in 1940. She was 5 years older than him, wearing a tight gold lame gown with a slit down the center to show off her legs and sporting a fake black eye and loose hair. And eventually that would become a real one. Lucy had been filming for Dance Girl Dance when Broadway director George Abbott called her over to his table at the MGM commissary. What great times. Where he was eating with the cast from Too Many Girls, a show the studio was going to film with Lucy as its star. Later that day, Lucy had to be reintroduced to Desi, who didn't recognize her with her sweater, slacks, clean face, and pulled back hair. So she had to be made up at all times. Had to be all made up. By the way, Maureen O'Hara, Lucy's Dance Girl Dance co-star. I have a copy of this movie autographed by Maureen O'Hara. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but I've wasn't she in Tarzan? Wasn't Maureen O'Hara? Wasn't she?
No, you're thinking of Maureen Sullivan.
Ah, okay.
Do you understand how the movie knowledge at my fingertips that I could just pull that out like that? Are you impressed, or are you not?
That actually does impress me because I like old TV. So.
Okay, their first date was that very night. We went to a nightclub, Lucy recalled, but instead of joining the conga line, we sat at a small table, talking and talking. I might as well admit it here and now. I fell in love with Desi. Wham, bang. In 5 minutes, there was only one thing better than looking at Desi, and that was talking to him. That's me. That's just like me. There's only one thing better than looking at me, and that's listening to me. I mean, that's what Andrea always says. She says it. No, you don't feel that way. All right, well. That's how I feel about you, Antonio. I'm like, there's only one thing better than looking at Antonio, and that's listening to Antonio. That's why we have a radio show on YouTube.
You actually, people used to tell me I would work the drive-through on the night shift at this place called Crystals, and people would say, "Hey, you sound," I'd be like, "Welcome to Crystals. May I take your order, please?" And they'd pull around and be like, "Hey, you sound like you should be on the radio." And I was like, "So this is kind of I've enjoyed the YouTube experience. That's why I keep trying to create more stuff, and this is fun for me." So.
You're a natural at it, though. You are.
I enjoy talking to people, so it works.
Ball's cousin Cleo Smith said when Ball saw Desi, she just came home and said, "That's it. That's it for me." Desi talked about he and Lucy met a few days later at Eddie Deazen's beach house. No, Eddie Bracken, not Eddie Deazen. Can you imagine Eddie Deazen? As I walked down the beach, I saw Lucille. "Hi, how's my rumba teacher?" she said. I laughed and said, "Hello. I had a wonderful time at El Zarape," she said, looking down at me with those big, damn beautiful blue eyes. "Thank you, so did I." She patted the sand and said, "Sit down." I sat down and never went back to Freckles, his nickname for his date. I guess that was for the next day he's out with another lady. That is not Lucille Ball. That's some hua. That's a hua. Yeah. Within a few days, Lucy broke up with her steady beau, Alexander Hall. 6 months, the relationship flourished. Absolutely no one believed it would work. He's another Valentino, the studio bosses predicted. I don't know if he was Valentino.
No.
Ricky Ricardo, I don't think Desi Arnaz was ever going to be, Rudolph Valentino. But because of Desi's great sex appeal, naturally the RKO bosses wanted to keep him single. His 5-year contract signed before he came to Hollywood prohibited him from marrying for that length of time, Lucy wrote. Desi's past romances were well known, including dalliances with Betty Grable. Good for you. And
Ooh,
Lana
nice.
Turner. Damn.
Super. I love
Lana
that.
Turner, the sweater girl. You know, her whole career started because she was an extra in a movie. And, you know, she had to be filmed walking down the street. And she was wearing a sweater and no bra. And she just bounced the right way. And it was only like a 5-second clip of footage. She didn't have a big role. Just 5-second clip of footage, and everybody went, "Who's that girl?" You know, this is the 1930s. You know, when that kind of thing matters. You can find that Lana Turner footage of her, and it still looks good for a man like you, who likes the ladies.
Oh yeah.
You know, Antonio, that bit of footage you should actually you know, look at. That's how a movie star was made back then. You just go, she's bouncing perfectly in that sweater from the side. So that, if that gives you any idea, women are lovely. They are. They're
Yeah.
well put together. Whoever thought of women and the way women are shaped did a good job. Was that God?
It was God. It was the ultimate creator. Yes.
Yes. So many figured Lucille Ball was just another notch on his belt. They really had no idea he was going to hit her with his belt. Boy, I melted right into his arms, the actress gushed. We were criticized for kissing and hugging so much in public, but we were both so gone, we didn't care. We didn't care. They were clearly mad for one another, but both admitted marriage was out of the question. RKO wasn't doing anything for Desi, causing him to go out touring with his band, while Lucy shot film after film, leaving them constantly separated. They needed to make more films together. Did you ever see the Big trailer?
I watched one movie that they were in together. I was like, what was it on, like Turner Classic Movies? That was way long time ago though. They were just trying to, you know, show, and it was weird not seeing her be Lucy Ricardo. It threw me off. I was like, okay, this is weird.
Yeah. Well, he played like Dickie DiCardo or something, or Nikki Nicardo in that movie. I can't remember what her name was, but they, you know, she spent all his money on a big, enormous trailer, and they took an adventure together. It's the whole movie is pretty fun. It's all about like how horrible it is to own a trailer home, like what a mistake it is. And I actually like that movie. It's very 1950s. Yeah, so they needed to make more movies together. It'd be great. Desi was a romantic with a joy for life and a knack for spending money. That's good. That's a skill, spending money. He also believed that the husband was superior in the marriage. I also believe that. Something Lucy could totally yield to. She was strong-willed, goodness knows, and very much a realist. She was also bothered by the 6-year age difference. Look at her. She's like, I'm bothered by it. He's 6 years younger than me. That bothers me. And he's like, I'm superior in this marriage. Desi summed it up well when he reflected, it's amazing that two people from such different backgrounds and geographical origins ever got together. That was perhaps part of our attraction, and also, I am sure, the cause of many of our arguments, fights, and other problems. One night at El Morocco, the couple agreed they couldn't get married. The moment they actually caught on camera, look at this. Yeah, we can't get married. Look how glum we look in this picture. Desi's parting telegram to her just made things worse. Just wanted to say I love you, good night, and be good. I think I'll say I love you again. In fact, I will say it. I love you, I love you, I love you. The heart-stopping Cuban often wrote Lucy beautiful notes during their numerous separations. I'm going to send a telegram to Andrea. Can you still do that?
That's
Yeah.
why I was like, I know they have Western Union. I know they still have wire services, but man, I thought that would be more for like international stuff. Really.
Yeah, but what if I'm downstairs and I can't get to Andrea? Like I'm busy. Can I send her a Western Union telegram?
I'm sure you probably still could. I wonder how much it would cost though now.
Hey, cost is no object.
Oh,
I need to let her know how I feel.
Oh, well, I hear you on that, brother.
Baby darling, I received your wire and loved it. I'm writing you a big long letter tomorrow. I miss you so terribly, and I love you so very much. The days don't seem to go by. Hope to get out of the show and not have to be away from you again. Millions of kisses and all my love, Desi. Well, some of my love, not all of it. Some of it, you know. Let's be honest, Desi. This guy's cheating on her left and right. How do you cheat on someone that much? I miss you so much, darling. I'm awfully sorry if I was mean the other night. Wow, that's spooky. But I love you so much, I guess I lost my head. Darling, it was wonderful talking to you tonight, but awful when I hung up and was left alone. Sweetheart, it is wonderful to know exactly what one wants. These few weeks away from you have been very sad and painful, but they've shown me that I want you and you always. Well, most of the time. Sometimes. Oh, yeah. I would like to, I'm going to see about that, sending a telegram. They've got to still do that. Why wouldn't they still let you send a telegram? There's still Western Union. That you can send people money via Western Union.
Yeah, I did that for 2 years. I worked at a Western Union thing, so doing wire transfers.
Do you have to go pick it up? Like Andrea would be pissed off if Western Union said, "Come here, we have a telegram for you," and then she had to get in the car. She'd open the door and like to the basement. She'd say, "Ethan, I got to go. Western Union called me. They said they have something for me." And then I'd be like, "Okay, dear." And then she'd get in the car and she'd drive to Western Union. And it'd be like, "There's a telegram here from your husband." She'd be like, "What the fuck?" And then she'd read it and it would say, "Hey, darling, I just wanted to say that I love you and could you close my door?" That would piss her off. She'd come home very, very angry with me, Antonio. But I mean, you know, I'm going to try it. I'm sending a telegram. Wow, Mark C, $10. My grandmother lied about her age for 93 years, first to avoid the immigrant stigma, and later afraid my grandfather would leave her for being an older woman. Wow, everybody lied about their age. You know, Doris Day is 96 years old, but everybody thinks she's 92. And she's 96. She lied.
And you're 96 and you still around. Salute to you.
Hugh Hoyland says, just email her, Ethan. Yeah, but oh, no. Western Union ended telegrams in 2006, says Cam 1138.
And
he did the research.
Pigeon, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I was like, man, they would still do that.
Oh. That broke my heart. Well, so I could have done it. I could have done that a few years ago. I can't do it now. I could have done it 12 years ago. What other things can we do that, you know, from the 1930s to each other? I gotta think about that. Where's the part where they're cheating? Look at this. Look at this lifestyle. She's on a diving board. He's in a swimming pool. Friends gave our marriage 6 months. Me, I gave it a week. This comment from Lucy illustrates just how precarious their relationship was. Desi concurred, saying, when we got married, nobody gave it more than 2 weeks. There were bets all over the country with astronomical odds against us. Passionate. That's what people say. By the way, Antonio, people are betting that you and I are not going to make it as talk show hosts.
Don't bet against the house, baby. Believe that.
They're betting. People like Ethan and Antonio. It's, you know, and they're taking bets right now in Vegas. But yeah, don't bet against us. I think we can do it.
Believe.
Passionate arguing was followed by passionate making up. And their careers still kept them apart. After 6 months of married life, they established roots in San Fernando Valley, buying a ranch house in Chatsworth. Desi and Lucy poured their hearts into the place, spending their free time making it into a home. Desi dug out a swimming pool and built a barbecue and a bathhouse, planted lemon and orange trees. This guy was busy. I like Desi. Lucy redecorated inside and planted a lush garden. Everything was named Desi Lou. From their station wagon to goulash created by Desi Lou. All this was rosy and fine. The couple couldn't escape their tremendous fighting. Friends and family were exhausted by it. And at one point, Desi built a rumpus room in the backyard, which was a place where he could go and sleep when the fights got really bad instead of wasting money on hotel rooms. Like, he built a room in the backyard.
I love, it's like I was a fan of Desi though. I was like, I didn't like when I started, but I didn't hear about a lot of that other stuff till years later though. I was a little kid. I used to love. He was like Lucy. I used to love that thick accent.
Well, I don't know if you love it anymore. Honestly,
That's what
this
I'm
might
saying, right? Yeah, I can't
this might
co-sign
have
the woman
disillusioned.
beating.
Uh, they had a miscarriage. That's sad. That sucks. Too many girls. Scrolling down. In the 50s, the Arnezes did have a child. Desilu Productions Incorporated. That's not nice. They actually did have a kid together. They had 2 kids, as far
Two
as I
kids,
know,
yeah, the two.
and they're still around, right?
I thought Desi Arnaz Jr. and what was the daughter's name? I can't remember. Because they
This
used to
would
go
be,
on Carson all the time. That's why I used to see him on Carson.
there's Lucy Arnaz and there's Lucy Arnaz and then there's Desi Arnaz Jr. They're the 2 of them. They have kids and they named them after themselves.
They
Can you imagine if you're in a crib and like "I Love Lucy" is leering down at you? You're like, I thought you were in black and white. What the hell? Like,
well,
what a nightmare.
they put Desi Jr. on the cover of TV Guide. It was like one of the highest circulated issues of any magazine of all time. It was one of that thing was huge. Desi Jr. on the cover of TV Guide was huge.
Oh yeah. They don't do TV Guide anymore either.
No. I remember, man, we used to get TV Guide too. Little subscription.
Custom Songmaker says, "Hey Ethan, call a florist to deliver a card without flowers." That's annoying. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I will. I'll have the florist come. FTD will pull up. Andrew will be like, "I'm getting flowers." Nope, just the card. It's just a card. That's pretty good. That's almost like a telegram. It's almost like a telegram. While Lucy rested to make sure they kept their baby, Desi worked tirelessly to get everything worked out from their facilities in Hollywood. A break from the traditionally New York-based shows. They filmed I Love Lucy in New York. I didn't know that. Maybe some of it, I guess. And then they moved out to Hollywood. They used to have, in Orlando, Florida, Antonio, at Universal Studios, they had an I Love Lucy museum. And they took it out. It had everything in it. It had all the dresses. It had all the props. It had a model of the studio. If you watch the show, this little museum was really special. I mean, it was
But
it was really
wasn't Desi Lou out there? I thought because I know they like Golden Girls was shot out there, and I know some of the Andy Griffith show was shot on Desi Lou Studios, stuff like that. So
in Hollywood.
no, I thought they shot it in Florida. That's what I'm saying. It's like I thought they
Oh,
shot Desi Lou out in. I thought you were talking about when you were living out in Florida because I know Desi Lou Studios was out in somewhere in Florida.
I don't know. I think they shot it in Hollywood. They must have. I think they're saying here that they. Oh no, they shot the whole thing in Hollywood.
Oh wow.
Uh, Wait, no, it says the traditionally New York-based show. So maybe they shot the first couple seasons in New York and then moved to
And they
Hollywood.
moved it. I know when they did. Now that's one thing I had heard. You remember when they started doing the I Love Lucy road shows?
Mm-hmm.
Like they'd have like John Wayne and all that stuff on there. That was because she was wanting to. They were wanting to be more out in Hollywood, and they were wanting to showcase some of their friends. The ratings had started to drop, so they kind of created that kind of storyline to kind of pump up the ratings a little bit. So, hey, John Wayne, won't you come and be on?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, you could get Superman to come on. You could get big
Yeah.
Hollywood stars to come on. Elric is saying when it was a radio show, it was in New York, and then it was a radio play at first. That's right. No, well, that must be it, Elric, because yeah, of course, I Love Lucy was based on a TV show called uh, who knows, My Crazy Wife or something like that. My Favorite Wife, and it was before, and Desi wasn't in it. It was some other actor. She said, "Hey, can I put Desi in there?" They said, "But he's Cuban, and you're white."
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and she talked them into it. Uh, yeah, so they had this museum. They took it out. You know what they had a museum with all of the I Love Lucy props in it. Okay, the dresses. They took it out a few years ago and replaced it with a Betty Boop store. And I swear to God, I've they had an Alfred Hitchcock exhibit. They took that out and replaced it with a Shrek 3D extravaganza. Screw you.
Oh wow.
I think about that every day, Antonio. There's not one day that goes by that I don't wake up and get angry about Universal Studios Orlando and how they took out the Alfred Hitchcock exhibit and a little later the I Love Lucy exhibit and replaced it with completely fluffy, transitory things like Shrek. Nobody cares about Shrek anymore.
Yeah, that's weird because I thought that was going to be one of those properties where they keep cranking them out and do little. I mean, obviously they made about $1 billion off Shrek, but
But
Mike.
it's over now.
Yeah, they're not doing any more as far as I've heard. So
Pisses me off. And then I Love Lucy. I wanted to go back and take a look at it. Gone. You can buy Betty Boop bathrobes now, where they used to have all of the. And where did all that stuff go? Where did it? Probably right into the garbage. Damn it.
Betty Boop, I love Betty Boop.
Me too, though. I do like Betty. You watch those old cartoons; they're crazy. I mean,
Yeah, I used to watch all that all the old like old black and white stuff, all the old Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, Heckle and Jekyll. I used to watch all that stuff. Three Stooges shorts.
yeah, but if you watch those Betty Boop cartoons, like the people who made them are clearly mentally ill. Like they are. You watch those old cartoons and you just go, "This is a crazy person made this." Like, and not in a good way, not like the wacky craziness of like Termite Terrace and the Looney Tunes. It's like, no, like somebody who was experiencing, emotional disruptions on a regular basis made these Betty Boop cartoons because they are insane. They are absolutely insane. Uh, yeah. Every 50th frame, she's naked. Says has been now 89. Well, I don't know about that, but it is insane.
I'm about to say what I didn't know is Betty Boop was actually there was a black lounge singer that's what she had. I know she had sued the person that did Betty Boop. They had based Betty Boop on her. It was like you look at her and she actually there's old like black and white footage of her from I think from the 20s. Can't remember her name now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Betty Boop were real? Like what your head is like a pop figurine? Like what if your head was really that size?
That would be falling over.
Can somebody do a drawing of Betty Boop's skull? Somebody let's assume Betty Boop what would Betty Boop's skull look like? Like draw Betty Boop's anatomy. What would she look like? If you found Betty Boop's corpse, you would know. This is morbid, I know, but you wouldn't need to identify it with teeth or anything. You would just go, that's Betty Boop. Because why? Well, because her head is the size of a sofa, and her body is really skinny and petite, but her head is like. Somebody draw Betty Boop's skull for me. I just want to see what it would look like anatomically. She has a tiny little mouth. So her jaws would be, it would be very peculiar. Anatomically, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It doesn't make any sense. I think about things like this, Antonio.
One of the first your mind works.
Yeah, well, one of the things that when I first started giving art lessons to people on YouTube, I did like, hey, how to draw a head, and I said you got to think of the skull. When you're drawing a head. First, kind of sketch out a human skull so that you know where the nose, the eyes, the mouth is going to be placed over the teeth. You want to make sure that the structure really makes sense. So just start with that basic bit of structure. And so, of course, you think of everybody in terms of, what's underneath. When you're doing a drawing, I just don't think anybody thought about it when it comes to Betty Boop. Like nobody took my advice, but I wasn't around then. So. It's a nice color picture. Good Lord, this is my wife, Harpo Marx. I don't know. I would cheat. I'm sorry.
You would.
I would cheat. Look at her. And I don't want to say that, but I mean, look at her. She looks. She. I like feel for him. Look at his face. Like I know. I married Ronald McDonald. I don't know how I found myself here, but
She's hitting
we're
the
doing
wall
real well.
right there. Yeah, she's hitting the wall there.
Oh, that is a fake. These are two fake smiles. He's sitting there like, help me. And she's sitting there like, he's going to hit me with this later. You know,
Oh,
it's like,
oh wow. Get hit with an Emmy. That's not
yeah. Oh, these two. Desi never won an Emmy for his work. He wasn't even nominated. Lucy, Vivian Vance, and William Frawley. William Frawley, he just died. He just dropped dead outside of a hotel.
he was
I was watching an episode of Penn and Teller's Bullshit where they tried to summon his ghost. Didn't work.
I watched every episode of Bullshit. I love that episode. That was a great show.
It was a good show. Lucy taking home the prize twice, so she kept winning and he kept not winning. As producer, Desi had to console himself with 2 Emmys for Best Situation Comedy. One of the show's writers, Madeline Pugh Davis, said he always knew he was the star. Wow, what a dickhead. Never in all those years did I ever hear... Oh, she was the star. Okay, never mind. He wasn't a dickhead. Never in all those years did I ever hear him say, where's my part? He just thought she was it, and if she was taken care of, that was all that counted. He protected her. People were always asking her to do commercials and things, and he'd say, no, she doesn't do that. Desi loved that ILL gave Lucy the outlet for her talent. No movie ever properly displayed her talents, and now the world was finally seeing what Lucille Ball could do. During filming of the infamous episode Lucy Does a TV Commercial, Desi recalled how hard it was for him and another actor to keep their composure. The scene where Ross Elliott and I had to watch her rehearse the commercial was so funny that both of us got sores from laughing and having to chew the insides of our cheeks to keep from laughing. I'm trying to do that. No. All right. 1952, they finished I Love Lucy. They were having another baby, the birth of little Ricky. Desi was terribly emotional about her. He really was crazy about her. You could feel how they felt. This is very sweet. This is the big trailer, right? The long trailer right here. They were in the rain. Yeah, this is a good movie. I do recommend that everybody watch the long trailer. It's in color. You can't. This is black and white, but it's in glorious Technicolor. Oh, it actually says that Technicolor. Gorgeous. Watch that movie. It is fun. It is actually probably. She looks hotter here.
Yeah,
she looks like Donna Reed here with red hair.
I used to love Donna Reed.
I still do. Donna Reed in It's a Wonderful Life. Gorgeous woman. She's like naked in that bush, and he's got her robe, and he won't give it to her. Is that abuse? Was that sexual harassment?
It might be considered that now, but when I was a child, I just thought that was cute, and I was like, please just come out, please.
Yeah. Donna Reed. It's the holiday season. You're going to be watching that movie again, you know.
I love her. She's sweet.
We're going to have to do a review of It's a Wonderful Life.
I'd be down for that.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I love It's a Wonderful Life. Love that movie.
I have a very negative view of it.
Really?
I like it, but it's a horrible life, and the guy's an asshole. What is he doing? What exactly is he doing? Why, he goes through, he makes everyone else's life a living hell, and it's like at the end of it, everyone gives him money, and that solves everything.
Wait a minute, but he's a good guy. He helps people. He's like lending himself into the poorhouse, helping people.
We'll go over it together. We'll go over it together. But honestly, it's not a wonderful life. It's a hellish, nightmarish, dystopian nightmare. Merry Christmas, though.
Well, I saw one person and he was breaking the movie down, and he actually spun it where Potter's the good guy. And I was like, that dude. I was like, Potter's the evil old man. He's just doing all this stuff.
Here's what he's doing. Okay. I mean, all Potter wants to do is he's like, look, this community, it's impoverished, and you keep letting people take mortgages that they can't pay. And you're making this town into a slum. And Potter's just like, look, let me do it. He's like, I'm a businessman. Let me take over this. And then you see, it's like you see that had Potter taken over the town and gotten what he wanted, it would have been the economy would have been bustling. You know, it would have been a nice hot jazz town with like, I don't know, money would have come pouring in, the economy would have been better. I don't know.
I
It was
see
all like
that. Yeah. Yes.
it was a hellhole. It was an impoverished slum hellhole, so that George could feel better about himself. And at the same time, while he's feeling better about himself, he's beating his kids, he's smacking his wife, he's drinking to excess.
When you look back on it now, you go, "Oh, wait a minute." That's nice.
It's like you're not making life better. I'm glad you feel better somehow. That but it's like you're basically you're holding up progress essentially. You're
And
holding up progress.
he's going to commit suicide and leave his wife holding the bag with all those kids.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Now that just sounded foul right there. I was like, dude, you got what? What do you got? Had like 4 kids or something? And yeah, it's just little Zuzu and all that. And I was like, okay, you lost all that money.
Mm-hmm.
You're drowning in debt. And you got all these kids. Yeah, let me jump off this bridge and kill myself.
Now Potter did do one thing. Yeah, let me right. So I'm gonna leave them with the debt. Potter did do one bad thing. I mean, well, it was a scheme. He should have probably returned the $8,000 in the newspaper, but maybe he would have returned it eventually. I don't know, but he had to get the upper hand on this guy. He had to do it
Shut
for his
down.
community. We'll go over it. We'll watch It's a Wonderful Life together. This is sad. Lucy later wrote that we never realized that we never really liked each other. That is sad. That is very, very sad. This is her and her new husband. More fake smiles, puppy. Yeah, this guy's got pants like I wish I had. Would you wear these? I would.
No.
You wouldn't wear these slacks here?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just
I
that's
like
not
it.
my style.
No. Schwanz Gruberman says, "What are you guys' thoughts on Dragon Ball Z?" And you missed some super chats. I'll go back and do the super chats. Would you like Dragon Ball Z?
I definitely my nephews. I got caught into watching. My nephews were into it huge. So that and like Yu-Gi-Oh. I used to see all that stuff, but I like a lot of Japanese stuff like that anyway. Dragon Ball and like Dragon Ball Super, all that stuff's real cool.
Yeah, I never watched Dragon Ball Z, not even once.
Really,
No, I should. I should actually watch it. It looks cool.
Super Saiyan, baby.
Yeah, I've used the joke. I've said Super Soyan once or twice. When somebody was getting like kind of bitchy, I'd be like, "Going Super Soyan." Huge Ass says Backdoor Boogie was my favorite sexy party yet.
Oh man, we had fun with that yesterday. That's the thing, it's like I feel like Sashi's like my therapist, and I just sit back and I'm like on the couch and just telling her all my weird deviations.
Deviations.
Little weird fantasies and weird perversions.
And Sashi listens to it. Sashi listens to you talk
Yes,
about your.
yes.
Does she ever want to call the police? Like,
no, I
she's in
she's
another
just telling me
country.
about prostate milking and things of that nature.
Oh, Antonio! I didn't know. Oh.
Everybody keeps asking to when you're coming on, and I was like, I don't know if Ethan wants to come on.
No.
Come on, sexy party. I was like,
Probably not. Everybody's saying you're a freak. Now they're in the chat. They're talking about you being a freak.
Don't judge.
The DCV Titan hashtag Boomer problems. Yeah, it is Boomer problems. Swinging Cod says, speaking of Marino Hara and spanking wives, watch McClintock to see John Wayne spanking her with a shovel.
Oh,
that might be
wow.
That's getting the job done with a shovel. I mean, that's not a spanking. It's an episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents. That's messed up. Yeah, and Mark C says, swinging Cod, please watch McClintock. Please rewatch McClintock. I believe you got Patrick Wayne spanking a young Stephanie Powers too. So there's a lot of spankings in McClintock. Swans Gruberman says, hey guys, I bought both your comics, but I gotta say Brand is looking more like my cup of tea with the art so far. Sorry, still love you, mate. Oh, great. I think I'm caught up with the super chats now. I love the idea of calling a florist to deliver a card without flowers. Thank you guys. All right, so thank you so much for joining us. I'm gonna get to work. I got a lot to do. Actually, first I'm gonna shower. This is my first unshowered episode of Comic Artist Pro Secrets, the morning show.
Morning show live unshowered.
Morning show live, looking filthy with my hair like it doesn't look good. I don't look good right now. That's why I don't have the camera on. I look like a mess. All right, guys. Have a terrific day. I will see you tonight at 9 p.m. for Comic Artist Pro Secrets Comics Gate Live. The smelly morning show. Yeah. Turn the camera on, EVS, own up to it. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. That will end up memed. They take pictures and then they put my head on bodies. So that's okay. Yeah, I should have had Doug Tenable on. No, I only wanted Antonio on today. All right, guys. I will see you later. Have a great day. Get stuff done.